Well, the countdown is on to the Property Investor Show, and I'm delighted to be joined by industry commentator Kate Faulkner to talk about the benefits of attending the show. And welcome, Kate. You're a big fan of and friend of the Property Investor Show, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. I've been working with these guys since it started, which I think was quite a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yes, they're celebrating their 14th year this year. Quite an achievement.
Yeah, been there since the start.
Now, it's a free-to-attend event, so, for busy landlords or people that have a full-time job and don't have the chance to mingle with other landlords, it's just a great day out, isn't it?
It is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've often run property clinics at the show, and when I sit down and talk to people, they're sometimes a little bit sheepish because they say, oh, well, I inherited a property and that's how it all started, or I don't know, I saw a property for sale and just thought, well, I think that's a bit of a bargain and bought it. And to be honest, if you're going to get into property investment, especially in today's tricky market, you've really got to do your research first and not buy on gut feel anymore.
So actually, that's a very good point, because that part of the show obviously is the seminars, the educational aspect, and this is a great way for people to cram in a lot of learning in one day, really.
It is, and whether you're new to investment, so you've absolutely no idea where to start, some really good guys who go to the show, and the seminars are awesome, to be honest. And you can decide which ones that you like, and the different types of property investment, because it's not all about buy to let. There's, I do a lot of buy to let, buying and renovating. That's what I enjoy doing. But if you're an existing landlord and you've been doing the job for a long time, you've got to remember the new rules on lettings are coming out left, right, and centre. So, for example, you've got people like, Paul Champlina there, and if you've got a problem with, tenants who aren't paying their rent, this is a perfect opportunity to turn up, speak to the guy himself, and find out what the new rules are that are going to relate to evicting people in the future, because they're all changing.
Absolutely. And I think, the show is very much, in my mind, very much like a barometer of what's happening in the sector. It tends to reveal trends, and it's a really good place to be on the kind of cutting edge of what landlords are thinking as well.
Yeah, it is, and you may have heard about sort of different strategies or different ways you can make money, and we talk a lot about this, some people out there, and you really question some of the strategies that are going on at the moment. And the good thing is that you can ask all the questions you need to. So, if you are looking at something like rent to rent, there's good ways of doing it, and there's very bad ways of doing it. Then you'll find the people there that will look at these kind of things and give you their honest view of them. And I think that's the important thing, is don't just jump on a bandwagon because it seems like a good idea. Go and talk to the people who don't like it necessarily, as well as the ones who do, so you can make a proper decision and see if it's right for you.
Well, that is fantastic advice, Kate. And also, I think one of the other things that people sometimes underestimate is the value of the networking there, because virtually anybody who's anybody in the property investor world is at the show, and it's a great chance to increase your network.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so I've been going there for a long while, and most people there are actually good friends now, as a result of just turning up year after year. And I remember one year, just a while ago now, I had my 40th birthday, and all we did was stop the stand for an hour, got out the champagne and cakes, invited everybody along who we knew, and had a quick party before we were back to work, helping newbie investors and existing landlords sort out any problems that they've got. So it is a wonderful place to really get to meet the people that are in charge of the companies, not just the people on the end of the phone. And I think that's what's really important, because there are people that you need to listen to out there before you go jumping and making big decisions on property investment.
Quite. And just to finish then, when you arrive at the show, it's quite overwhelming when you walk in. It's big, it's buzzing. Do you have any tips to help people get the most out of their day at the show?
Well, for me, if I'm going anywhere, quite frankly, the first thing I have to have is a cup of tea. So if I was going to the show, the first thing I'd do is grab the list of what all the seminars are to start off with, and I would sit down with my cup of tea and I'd work out which of the seminars and the sort of the top ones that I wanted to see. Some of them might overlap, so you might actually, I find a lot of people go there for 2 days, actually, so they can catch everybody they can. And then based on the seminars, you can then work out if you want to go and visit those people that have run them on their stands, or indeed if there's a particular topic you're interested in, or you've heard about somebody and you want to find out a little bit more about them, then just go through the exhibitor list and sort of put a ring around the ones that you want to go to. That way it just makes it a lot easier as you're walking around the room to go, oh yes, these are the guys. I've got lost several times at the show, so it's definitely worth making sure you have a good plan, to be honest.
No, I think that's very good advice. And, I think it's also very important to remind landlords, both newbies and experienced ones, that, being a landlord, we can work a little bit in isolation. And this, is just a great day to go out and really immerse yourself into the property sector. And what more can we say? It's free.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm fairly bold in terms of having met so many sort of tens of thousands of landlords, certainly for the Property Investor Show over the time. And quite frankly, some landlords out there are just sticking their head in the sand, and you can't do that anymore, I'm afraid, folks. This is not something you can DIY from your sofa and make a fortune from. You've got to get out there. You've got to really keep in touch with people, and it's a place that I would go to and catch up with people. We've just heard about subletting that suddenly appeared out of the budget, for example. So now we're talking to everybody, and the show's a great place to get everybody together, see what they think, see what the feedback is, just to know if that's ever actually likely to happen, for example. And that's the sort of thing that's really useful.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much as always, Kate, for your input. And we've been talking to Kate Faulkner about the Property Investor Show at Excel in London, and right beneath this video you'll find a link where you can go and register your ticket for free. Thanks very much, Kate.
No, a real pleasure as always. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.